Hello, and welcome to the webinar series, What is Splunk? Today we're going to be talking about what is Splunk SIEM, also known as ES. My name is Ben Marrable. I'm a Splunk security strategist here at Somerford Associates, and I've been dealing with Splunk and Splunk Enterprise Security for a number of years now. So hopefully I'll be a good guide through this What is Splunk Enterprise Security. Before we get started, just a little bit about Somerford and Splunk. Somerford is an elite Splunk partner with the largest certified delivery team in EMEA. Splunk is a universal platform for ingesting and analyzing structured and unstructured data. It transforms data from applications, servers, networks, and devices into actionable insights. Splunk enables customers to detect patterns, monitor metrics, troubleshoot issues, and drive intelligent decisions across the business. Somerford leverages strategic partnerships with industry leaders to deliver seamless interoperability. Our expertise spans data security, cloud migration, and more, backed by elite partner status for complete project delivery. We excel in complex, large-scale projects for diverse clients, supported by a dedicated security-cleared team. Our project managers, skilled in both Prince2 and Agile, ensure efficiency and on-time delivery. In short, Somerford delivers secure, integrated solutions, and we do it at pace. On the screen are Somerford's current partnerships, spanning a broad range of solutions and market-leading technologies. Our partner statuses enable us to provide full delivery, design, implementation, and support. Somerford supports high-trust customers across government, defense, finance, and critical infrastructure. They rely on us for secure, compliant solutions in complex environments. So, Splunk SIEM, Enterprise Security. What is Enterprise Security? Well, it's the security analytics fit for the future. Enterprise Security is the cornerstone and provides a mature and feature-rich capability to ensure you can continuously enhance your security posture. It sits there in the center of that SOC environment, Security Operations Center, as the central nervous system for the entire security portfolio and suite. It does asset identity frameworks, it's got incident and adaptive response, threat intelligence management, risk-based alerting, machine learning, AI built in, unified SecOps, all with an AI assistant to match everything together. So let's go and have an actual look at Enterprise Security. Welcome to Splunk Enterprise Security's home screen. This screen will open up as you open the application within a Splunk environment. Enterprise Security runs as a separate application on top of core Splunk in on-prem or Splunk Cloud. It is actually a multitude of applications that come as a suite. You can navigate directly from this home screen using the bookmarks on the page or using the UI to go where you need to go. I'm going to start just going into content management, and this will show you all of the content under the hood that is powering Enterprise Security. You can look for detections, you can look for indicator searches, panels, everything else. I'm going to start just looking at a couple of event-based detections. I'm going to click on this anomalous audit trail activity detected. Now this is going to show me the detection that's running with the search and everything that we're going to do after we've detected it. Now this is running as an intermediate finding. What that means is it's not going directly to the analyst to be able to analyze straight off the bat. We want to pump this in with other information to only alert an analyst when there's a high fidelity chance of an actual threat being discovered. So it's an observation, if you will, about the environment. We have observed that there's an anomalous audit trail activity detected. We don't have the capacity as the SOC to analyze every single audit trail activity detected that's anomalous. So it's best to just feed it into another layer of analytics to get us the alert that we need to see it. So we've got the finding output type. Then we have the search and the actual detection itself with some metadata around what that's trying to do. And then we have what would be shown in the analyst queue. Now, I did say it's not going to go directly to the analysts, but this information will be shown in intermediate findings, which I'll show you in a moment, including drill down searches. So you can actually go direct to the raw events. At any point within enterprise security, you'll see that you can get directly to the raw events because Splunk is there under the hood. We can see that we're actually assigning risk. So this intermediate finding is participating in a risk-based alerting approach. So here we're giving 40 points of risk to the destination as a baseline. We are annotating it with MITRE attack details. We can annotate it with kill chain or sys20 controls, lots of different things that we can use to annotate this information so that when we run additional analytics on top of it, we could be looking for those annotations and patterns around those annotations and not just a number of risk that is applied to an asset or an identity or some sort of entity. So it gives us extra ways of actually using this after we've observed the behavior. We can set a good time range, we can schedule it, get a good schedule priority, and we can have different conditions as to when it should alert and should it alert for each result. And then we can also throttle it. So instead of an event being seen every second, we might want to only see it, we might just once for that day or whatever the throttle window is. Once we've gone ahead and done this, we can save it as a new version. We have embedded version control within our detections in enterprise security, allowing us to either roll back to a previous version, which you can just click on the right hand side here, and it'll present you the previous version of the search, which you can then just go and enable. And only one version will then be statuses on. If I enable this one, the version 1.2 will be disabled. Okay, so now that we've understood under the hood how a detection works and what it really does, it's a search, it's searching like core Splunk and does a number of different things. You'll then get presented findings, or indeed grouped findings together as intermediate findings, a group of intermediate findings in the analyst queue. Now, the analyst queue is where the analyst will generally spend most of their day. And this is key. Why would they want to navigate between lots of different tooling when they can just come to one place and be presented with all the information that they need to see? So here we have a table of all the different findings that an analyst could pick up and deal with. Okay, and these have different levels of urgencies, you can see on the right hand side, and different timings and different statuses as to where they are, if they've been picked up or not. Now, all of these you can see are known as findings. And if we expand on one of these findings, you'll get presented with a lot more information around that finding. So here it's new, we could give it a different status point, we could take ownership of it, we could change the urgency of it, we could close it off and set a disposition. Now, dispositions are really useful because they provide feedback into the security engineering team to be able to tune and know what to tune where, right? So if it's a false, inaccurate data, false positive, maybe we should work on the data. If the logic isn't very accurate, we should work on the logic. Or if it's a true positive, but is expected behavior, like a benign positive, then maybe we need to think about how we can tune that out or work with the environment to stop running against policy. We can also scroll down and see any adaptive responses that have been run on this, including any automation, because this is the central point. We could have automation at the back end of it. And here we've got a number of different automation steps that have occurred on this and notes that we can add in and so forth. Now, if I want to close that off, I can go ahead and click close. I could change the positive, false positive, inaccurate data and hit save. I could give it a note, false positive, and then hit save. And I've then closed that off, and I'll still see it in there, but it will now be marked as closed with disposition presented to you as well. With this view, not only are you seeing everything, but you can also filter down. You can filter down on specifics, clicking on the headers. You can filter between findings and investigations or entities or anything else, and save specific views that you want to actually see. So if you've got analysts that work in certain domains, say access or network or something like that, they could just be presented with their view to work through their access related domain or their network related domain findings first, where they're specializing in. Now I'm just going to sort by the intermediate findings to find one of the most interesting ones to present back. I'm going to take this finding here. You can see there's a previous investigation being picked up. I'm going to take this finding. I'm going to think this is actually bad. This looks bad. I've done a little bit of preliminary analysis to say, right, I need to open an investigation. There's been automation that's occurred on it, but I need to start an investigation. So here I've got a button. Using this progressive interface that Splunk Enterprise Security has, you can get presented with more and more information by simply clicking to the next level. When I click Start Investigation, I've been presented with a new interface. Here I've got the MITRE attack map, so all that annotation that I presented back is now presented back to me with all those findings. I've got all the intermediate findings. So here's the malicious PowerShell process, user Vidor's been activating to new sites or to sites that are being monitored. I can see them in a table format as well as a timeline format. I can see all the additional fields on the left there, all the MITRE details, lots of different information in here. And on the right-hand side, I've got a constant viewpoint just giving us the high-level statements around this particular investigation, right? Where's the status? How sensitive is the information involved? What level of urgency? And again, I've got notes on this level here that present of the entire investigation. Now, I want to draw your attention to these tabs across the top here within this particular interface. So we can move and actually start thinking about a response to this investigation. So you can have this automated, or you can go in and actually add a response. I'm going to add a findings-based response. Hit submit. This will then give me a response plan and how to deal with this particular incident. So I've got different phases here of what to do for a findings-based response. So I've got initial triage, review detections. I can go ahead and start this task by clicking on the start button. This task then has a search for me to go ahead and run. Go ahead and run search, and you'll see it's taking me to the tab search here. And it's run that search as a sort of drill down type of search to look into that actual risk that's being applied here. And we can go through and scan the particular raw events that we want. We could add those into our investigation as well if we wanted to. I'm going to come back. I'm going to close this off by adding a note. Hit the save button. That will then save that and adds a note to the actual investigation as a response note. You have general notes as well, which is what's going on the right-hand side there. Go ahead and click end to that task. Ticks it off, says I've ended it, can then move through to the next phase. Here we're going to look at automation. So we're going to review those IOCs. We could run individual actions against Splunk Attack Analyzer or Cisco Talos Intelligence. I'm going to go ahead and hit this playbook. And this is going out to SOAR, Splunk SOAR in this case. I'm running a playbook, encoded PowerShell analysis. And if I want to review that automation, I can come along to the automation tab and see those automation events being run. Here it is in action with the results just about to be presented. Also on this automation tab, you can go to prompts. So if there's a prompt for you to deal with an action being taken, let's say in a phishing environment, you might want to remove that particular email from all the mailboxes. You might get prompted with that. Do you want to remove this from all mailboxes? Here's the list of mailboxes we'll remove it from. You go ahead and click yes, and it will go ahead and actually run that final action to remove it from the mailboxes. Alternatively, we can go directly and just run a playbook from here, or we can run an action. We don't have to rely on the response task to have that particular framework, that particular playbook to run, or that action to run. We go ahead and run it from here. And then finally, in the intelligence tab, we can see what our threat intelligence management is saying about this particular artifacts that are in this investigation. So here are all the different observables that we found. We go ahead and click on one that gives us a number of different tags, a number of different summaries. We've got this from CrowdStrike, from Alien Vault. We can expand that, gives us a little bit more information about what we think about this particular bad IP, hash, URL, whatever it is, artifact, observable. That's all I wanted to demo today. It's very much touching the surface. There is a lot more that I didn't go into, including all the analytics data, analytics dashboards, all the reports that you can get out of Enterprise Security. So I'm just going to come back to the slides now. Now, what is SIEM? What is Splunk SIEM? Well, a modern SIEM is the foundation for any unified threat detection, investigation, and response platform. We're really looking to power the SOC of the future. Splunk is there as the technology to do that. The SIEM is the central point of that. So just to wrap up, where to go for a bit more information, you can come to those links there. So you can see Splunk Enterprise Security is a premium application on top of course Splunk, but you can see the application numbers 263 in Splunk base. The docs there, documentation/ES at docs.splunk.com. Go into all the information around the actual enterprise security documentation. You can learn a lot more from there as well. And then finally, if you do have any questions or want to look a little bit more under the hood, because there is a lot more in enterprise security than I've shown here today, would love to hear from you. Do just put the questions in the chat or reach out to info@somerfordassociates.com and we'll be able to get back to you. Do check out the rest of the series. You'll see me back for more later on in the series. But there are lots of great content in this series. And it's a very quick, easy, short session to kind of understand what is Splunk and all its different components. Thanks very much for joining me. I'll see you next time.